Oh. Ooh, ooh. Hello, Annette. How are you?
I am great. How are you doing, Anita?
I am blessed and highly favored and sneezing all day, but I'm here. Thank God I'm here. Sinus infection and all, but I'm here. Hello. How are you, our movers and shakers? Thank you all so much for tuning in. You have tuned in to Movement Worldwide. You have tuned into Can We Talk? Brought to you by Movement Worldwide. We are a motivational organization there to educate minds, empower, nurture, and transform. We are a movement to move. Yes, we are a movement to move. We want to help you thrust into your purpose so that you can start living the best version of yourself and win. We tapped into some winning information. We have some winners resources. We're seated at the winners table and we invite you. Yeah, you, and you too. We invite you to come right along with us, right, Annette?
That is so correct. We have so much room at the table. Actually, we made sure we put a few more seats around the table. So just in case you think ain't a room for you, we got room at the table for you.
As the saints always say, where the table is spread and the feast of the Lord is what, Annette?
Going on.
Going on, and it's going on
Um,
up in here. So we love to have you all join us each and every Wednesday night. We're here every Wednesday night that we can. We missed last week and that was our first ever that we
yeah.
totally missed a week. We usually are able to make it up within the week, but we missed last week due to some unforeseen circumstances. But we are back, y'all. We are back,
Yes.
y'all. So we're back and we're live and in color. In living color. And we're here to have this great conversation. We love coming to you on Wednesday nights with our awesome conversation. We just like to let our hair down, have a little fun. So right now, hello, Sharon. Right now, for those of you who are watching, those of you who are tuned in, please take a moment right now, and we want you to hit the button at the bottom of your screen, wherever you're watching from. Please hit the button at the bottom of the screen with that thumbs up button. Hit that, or hit the heart button on Facebook, or give us a little care bear on Facebook. However you want to do it, we want you to hit the like button. And after you hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're not just watching, but that you are subscribed. And if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please just go on over there, even if you're watching on Facebook. But we want you to subscribe to our channel. The other thing we want you to do is there's a little arrow button that's doing like this, little curve button. That's the share button. We want you to click that button and share it. You can share this to your Facebook page. You can share it to your in your messenger. You can message people like I do, a gazillion people. You can message people. You can also share it to other pages and in groups. So please hit the subscribe, the like, and the share button on our pages. And the other thing that we would love for you to do, we are a nonprofit organization, and every seed sown into this ministry, we always pray that it returns 100-fold. So you can sow a seed, and we do need the seed. We do need the seed.
Yes.
We do need the seed. So please sow a seed into Movement Worldwide. There are a couple of ways you can sow. You can sow via Cash App. Our Cash App is $Movement Worldwide. Again, that's $Movement Worldwide. Or you can opt to come into covenant with us by becoming a patron. What'd you say? Oh, how do you become a patron? I'm glad you asked. Well, you become a patron by going to our website, movementworldwide.org. There's a red button at the top that says become a patron. It takes you to a website called patreon.com. And on that website, you can set up your account and set an amount to sow. Now, we ask for $12 a month. That's 40 cents a day. But whatever the seed is greatly appreciated. But listen, come on into covenant with us, sow a seed via Cash App, become a patron. However you do it, we just ask that you please do. But what's most important to us is that you are here, that you sow the seeds of your time, and we appreciate it. But just make sure you don't keep it to yourself. Make sure you continue to share and spread the word. The other thing that you can do too is that globe up above and that, bim, bim, bim. Follow us there. That's Movement Worldwide on every platform. And you can also email us at info@movementworldwide.org. All right, and without further ado, we are going into our program now. Our regularly scheduled program. We're going into our program now. We actually have our 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 Wednesday night lineup is always set up the same way because we like to have a little information, a little light information, and then we dig a little deeper, and then we bring it out and have some fun. So we start off with our transformational topic. And with the transformational topic, we take idioms and phrases and we kind of apply them to our lives. We deal with scripture, we deal with practicality, and sometimes you can find a word in something as simple as an idiom or a phrase that you would hear somewhere or see somewhere. It's very, very, very powerful. And so we started using that because these are the things that sometimes will transform lives. So our transformational topic tonight is something very popular. It's going to rain on your head. This is a very famous line coined in the classic movie starring Danny Glover, Whoopi Goldberg, and Oprah Winfrey, The Color Purple. Whoopi and Oprah's characters, Sophia, and Miss Seeley were standing in her living room talking while Harpo was on the roof working. Harpo falls through the roof, and then he ends up having this heated conversation with Sophia. She makes him feed the baby or something. So he's left there under the hole in the roof, and a kid walks up to him and says, "It's gonna rain on your head." And that was like, well, I think that was the most quoted line in that movie, other than "You told Harpo to beat me." So when we think about rain, of course, because there's a hole in the ceiling, and she said, "Oh, I can smell the rain coming." We always say that we can smell rain, which we can, and we've actually talked about that here.
Yeah.
And rain, when we think about it from just the practical stance, it can sometimes be annoying when you're trying to go somewhere. I mean, one of the biggest issues that I have is like when it rains, it's like, oh, and especially when I have errands to run, or if you're out and you ever been in the store and you come to the checkout line and the sky has opened up? Oh my God. And then you're waiting for it to slack, and don't be in a hurry. Oh my God, it's a mess. So, and I have been there so many times, come in the store and leave the store and I'm soaked. And so that, that happens. It gets annoying. Or as kids, when you want to play, I can remember those days when it would just rain and we're like, oh no, it's going to start raining. And you want so badly for the rain to stop that we would sit in the window and sing, "Rain, rain, go away, come back another." But it takes you to grow up and to kind of experience some things in life to appreciate rain. When you start learning about climate and society, and for those who are growers, farmers, or just in general, that we understand that what happens to the earth and what happens with everything else if we don't get rain. Rain is essential. Rain is very there's so many attributes. I remember Annette preached the sermon one day where she talked about all of the many symbols that rain is used for in the Bible. So it's a very, very, very powerful thing. And it comes, it has a whole lot of other attributes. I mean, without rain, nothing can grow. Without rain, there's drought. We need it. Rain, one of the things that I read somewhere is that it said that rain's peaceful presence is such a gift from God that we don't understand sometimes the power that it does by just coming down, by just the fact that it manifests.
Yeah.
Rain can make us stop and be still. It can make you pause in your day-to-day lives to just soak up the surroundings and the moment that you're in. There's sometimes that people don't even spend quiet time with their kids or family until it rains. When I was little and it would rain, my mom would make us turn off the TV and everything. We had to sit in silence. Yeah. And and you find yourself, having those moments of quiet and peace when it rains. And so it comes with a lot of attributes. And I can tell you that some of the best sleep time is when it rains. Mm-hmm. But there's nothing more beautiful than the thought or the idea of heavenly rain in our lives. There's nothing more beautiful than the thought of that. And when you think about the heavenly rain, we're thinking about the fact that, when we hear, the passages of scripture, and one in particular, and God says, I will open up a window of heaven and pour you out a blessing that you would not have room enough to receive. When we think about standing under an open window of God's blessings, or even being in the proper place for blessings when rain comes down, there are many times in the Bible where it speaks about rain destroying things, but in a lot of instances, it talks about how rain is coming as a sign of growth and rebirth and renewal from God. Because after a fresh rain, everything seems brighter and cleaner and just more beautiful. There's nothing beautiful than to see an afterglow in the rain. So when
Mm.
I look at the word itself, not even dealing with the deepness, because we can go real deep as it pertains to rain. Rain, and I looked at the intransitive and transitive tense of this verb. The transitive tense did not really have a definition, so therefore it really is a single tensed word. And that word in the transitive tense means to pour down or to give abundantly. To pour down or give abundantly. So when I look at the fact that rain happens when there is precipitation, when there's stuff that's held up in the clouds. There's something that happens from the earth that meets the cloud. And then have you ever seen those clouds that are so heavy? It's like in 1 second it's about to rain. Or if you've ever looked at the kitchen faucet and you see a drip and it's like it's building up and 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 building up. That's how rain is about to come down on some of our lives, not in a negative way, but in the most positive way ever. And I am speaking so prophetically to somebody right now that whatever has been held up in the clouds over your head, we sometimes look at the clouds so negatively. Oh, it's been gloom, it's been dark, and for some of us, it has been just that. We've had our share of dark days, of gloom, of sadness, and the dark clouds are still above. But guess what? In those clouds is rain, and after the rain is rebirth, renewal, refreshing. God has something held up for you in the rain, and whatever has been held up in the clouds over your head, when it manifests, I'm
Mm.
here to tell you it's going to rain on your head. And when it does, there are many blessings that are coming your way.
Mm.
Many blessings. There's a blessing after the rain. Your thoughts, Annette?
Yeah, when you were talking, I was thinking about rain. Like you say, rain refreshes, it renews, it brings something different when it rains. Like I call my grass crunchy, okay, because it was kind of, but it rained like when I remember it rained like a couple of days, and all of a sudden, that thing that was brown began to be green. It begins to bloom. Even things you don't want out there to start growing, it'll grow. So it's something to say about rain. I used to like walking in rain.
Mm-hmm.
Not the storm, but the showers, the drizzle. I used to like walking in
Mm-hmm.
rain as a kid. So yeah. Listen, I want to be under the clouds so it can rain on me.
Mm-hmm.
I need His presence like never before. So yeah, it's about to rain on y'all head, okay? On my head, you need a head, y'all head. Listen, we got to get under there. I don't want to miss. What it say? Whatever you're doing in this season, don't do it at me. If that means that I have to stand in the rain,
Mm-hmm.
in the cloud, that's where I want to be. So
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm telling you now, it's coming. It's coming, and I see it, I smell it, I sense it. And for the mere fact that I went here tonight, and it wasn't even somewhere I was trying to go. I actually had something different last week, and we didn't have our night. And so I changed it for tonight because this felt so appropriate. Because I believe that we're in a day and age where people are fearful of the clouds. We're paying attention to the wrong thing. We're looking at the color and the darkness of the clouds and thinking that is symbolic as to what's going to happen in our lives. But what's in the clouds is rain, and after rain comes beauty. So I want you all to be encouraged to know, yes, it's going to rain on your head, and welcome the rain. Welcome the rain because it's raining from an open window in heaven. The rain is coming from that open
yeah,
window. All righty. Well, Annette, What a transformation for you. What a transformation in thought from it's gonna rain on your head. But can we talk? Can we talk in that?
Oh,
Uh-oh,
yeah.
uh-oh. Ooh, ooh. Look at her, look at her, y'all. Look at her, look at her, look at her,
Oh, I
look
got
at
my cup.
her.
I got, listen here. I've been working on that, y'all. Y'all see that right there?
Yeah, yes, we see. We see, we see. All right, all right. Good to see Miss Empress EB up on here. That's Ebony. Good to see you, Ebony. First, we have our first people on here, Ebony and Sharon. They were only little two who used to
Yeah.
be hanging out with us when we first started. So thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. We're going to shift our conversation. We've had our transformational topic. Those things that make you go, hmm. But right now, we're going to pause for a moment before we go to the next phase. We're going to pause for a moment for a quote from the quoteologist herself. We're going to have our Annetteism from Annette L. Anderson. And then right after that, we will be back. But you have time to share. So go ahead and share it. Yeah, she said she's trying to come when we appreciate you, Ebony. She said, I try to come when I can. We surely appreciate you. You are a blessing to us. So we're going to pause for our Annetteism, and then we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. You have time to share. Let somebody know. They are just getting started, y'all. You got about to miss the good. Man, this y'all saw that power too? That power's going to be good. All right, so we'll be right back.
Life continues to move even when we are still. Life doesn't apologize for its bitter pill. Life will always have valleys and many hills. Life unexpected problems can cause us to reel. Life can cause pain or give you a cheap thrill. Life reminds us that you still gotta pay them bills. But life with Jesus, you can truly be fulfilled. Life will teach us how to live by His will. Life with Jesus has given us a better deal. Life with Him, I know our fate is healed. This is Annetteism's Expressions.
All righty. It's something about life, I tell you. Well, it's time for the power tool. There are some matters and experiences that causes people to become hurt, fractured, or broken spiritually and emotionally. Sometimes it just takes a conversation to mend the broken heart or spirit. Let's just talk about it. That's why we're here. Sometimes just a conversation can turn it around. In some cases, a band-aid won't do it. You need a power tool.
Power tool.
Well, tonight, for a few minutes, I want to talk about the hush hush of addiction. The hush hush of addiction. It depends on where you are, what you're affiliated with, who you are. Will determine whether we talk about it or we don't talk about it. Addiction is the fact or condition of being addicted to a particular substance, thing, or activity. The synonyms is the craving, a habit, weakness, compulsion, fixation, enslavement. How many of us have been enslaved to some things we've been trying for years to let go of? In Galatians 6 and 2, Paul urged the church to bear each other's burdens. So maybe with more grace and love, we can turn on the light in the darkened rooms of our hearts and let our churches become safe haven for the uncomfortable things we have to deal with. Sometimes we just don't want to talk about certain things. At AA meetings and therapy sessions, talking about addiction makes sense. But for some reason, it's not a topic that most church want to talk about. They don't, we want to keep it under wraps. Certain addictions are definitely more socially accepted to talk about for others. For example, it's okay to talk about Frank and his smoking, but John alcoholism is a hush hush. There's certain things we'll talk about, but other things with hush hush. We know that church member, that deacon, that leader have an addiction, but because we don't want to cause issues in the church, we hush hush about certain things. I never forget this story I heard recently. I read it on Facebook, and it was a very small comment, but it kind of kicked me in the gut, really. And when this man said, "I never forget the tears," he said, "Stooping down, I swept a 4-year-old child in my arms. The whisper in my ear still rings loudly today." And the question the kid asked, "Why did the needles kill my mom?" And this question of why by a child was something that cannot be answered. The funerals are added especially hard because wounded families and shell-shocked children are left behind. I know, you listen, I don't care who you are, we all have somebody in our family. We all have that drunk uncle, that brother who's been on drugs, or maybe that sister. Even for some of us, our mothers and fathers and grandma have to raise the children. I saw a video today on social media, and it was about this flack or whatever this drug is called. It's almost demonic in a sense, because the way they bodies twist and turn, it's not even normal. So addiction is something that we really need to deal with, because before, a few years ago, certain areas was addicted. Now it's crossed, it's coming across the other side of the track. Now all of a sudden there's a problem. All of a sudden, and every time I look around, oh, we have a problem. I'm thinking we had a problem 20 years ago, but it didn't affect certain people. It didn't affect, people, rich people and people live in big homes, and it didn't affect people. Now all of a sudden, it's a problem. Addiction crosses all culture barriers. I don't care who you are, your race, don't matter what kind of money you are, your religious background. You can still get hooked on drugs and all other types of manners. The rich tends to hide it better, and the poor tends to be arrested more for it. Let me say that again. The rich tends to hide it better, but the poor, you are the more chances are you're going to be arrested. See, on with the right mindset, accurate knowledge, and adequate resources, churches and their leaders have opportunity to change and save lives by dealing properly with addiction. Now, I'm not saying every church is designed to necessarily have programs, but what I'm saying is that we need to discuss it more. And then if we are not capable in our churches and our ministries, that we would partner with somebody else, because this problem is real. And now it's even touching our children. You have teenagers, 10, 11, 12 out there being hooked on drugs. And what this does, it leads to other things, because now you got an issue. So you're trying to figure out, how am I going to get this high? I know my brother told me this. My brother that's next to me, he said that one thing about being a drug user, he said you're always searching for that first high. And he said you're searching for something that you never can find. And because I used to have a thing or two to tell him. But when he talked to me about it, I kind of got a different perspective. It's not, oh, he didn't want to do nothing, he's just a bum. No, sometimes we get hooked in stuff and we don't know how to let it go. And my brother said he constantly looks for that high and he never gets it. And it causes him to spend money, to do all other kind of things. And there are all types of addictions: substance, alcohol, tobacco, cocaine, PCP, and the list go on and on and on. But see, listen, I just want to touch on some things that I feel personally, like me and Anita say all the time, we are not psychologists or psychiatrists, but we lifeologists. And so when we're on here, we telling you the things that we've observed, or some things that we've lived through, or some things that even some of our family members and friends, and somebody's mama and somebody's, I had a cousin, the list go on and on. But I think at the church, when I say the church, I'm not talking about necessarily a church. I'm talking about the body of Christ. So churches must stop hiding mental illnesses, and even though it's difficult to address certain issues, but we got to recognize there are people in every church who's struggling. People are struggling, and then you have those who, like my stepfather. I just can go there. He's deceased, and thank God he was delivered. But he was a weekend drunk. Come Friday to Sunday, oh yeah. And I can remember, and I don't know why nobody else would do it. He would be so sick. I would be the one running around trying to get a pail so he could throw up in it. And this was every weekend. And finally he was delivered. I mean, he got to know God is his personal savior. So people are struggling. It's not just the ones on the corner. There are people that you talk to every day who are closet addicted to stuff, addicted to medicines. You're taking medicine. I know my grandma used to take BCs all the time. Like, well, how many BCs you gonna take? I mean, I'm serious. That was the only thing. And she would sometimes put two together on that little paper. And then, it's just different things. But also the church should be a safe place for people who struggle. Even if it's difficult to help somebody with this struggle, we still have to learn how to extend love. Now, I do understand about people who have drug addiction. Of course, there are people that I know I would not lay my purse down in front of them. Of course, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about trying to figure out, how can I help them? Because as believers, as leaders in our community, it's not just about preaching and coming up with fine words and being able to use all C's and your points and ain't he all right? Yeah, he all right. But then there's some people who's struggling. You say, when they were hungry, did you feed them? When they were naked, did you clothe them? Did you really help people? And sometimes we shy away from certain things because we don't understand. And that may not be your area. But what I'm saying is that we have to figure out, because now, especially in the time we're living in, these are some different times. I mean, you have babies, you have children. I mean, you have all kinds of craziness. And so we as the church, we as the body of believers got to figure out how can we be assistant to people who are struggling. Even when I went through my issues and I dealt with depression, I really didn't have anybody I felt I could talk to, because I didn't want, even the church, sometimes we talk too doggone much, because if somebody's coming to you and they got an issue, well, that's not for the community. That's not for you to get on the phone and talk about, sister so-and-so doing this. No. We have to make sure that we have a certain level of confidence. People of faith can't be afraid of medicine. It's time for people of all faith to affirm that it's important. Medicine is important. It's important that we have medicine, because we got people who have all manner of diseases. But also, we can't be afraid to, say, hey, I can't help you, but I know somebody who can. Because I know recently I saw this guy had went into the courthouse and he overdosed, and they had this medicine that they used to bring him back. I'm wondering sometimes, even in some of our big churches, and I'm sure they have it, that they have medical people on staff. Somebody can have a heart attack. Somebody can do a drug overdose. These are the things that we need to look out for. I know we want to look out for making sure people are armed, because people come in church and act the fool. But there are other things. It's not, everything you can't lay hand in oil and it's over. No, some people need help. Some people just going to be greasy. That's all. But I don't have a problem with laying hands. But some people need more than laying hands, So shame cannot be kept. And the doctor, sometimes people are so shamed. And let's not talk about the person on the corner. Let's talk about that sister who's sitting next to you, who takes so much drugs. And I've known people who have taken so much drugs. Like, why are you taking all that? Well, I got to take it. No. But of course, what happens a lot of times, especially people who I've heard people who have back surgery and other things like that, Anita, that cause a lot of pain. And what they do, they keep taking this medicine to alleviate the pain. So I don't have all the answers, but I do know this, that at least those of us who know the Lord, that people need to be able to come to us. And even if we don't have the answer, that we'll be able to find an answer for them. And then also, I thought about something when I was at a former church. We used to raise money for the church building fund. We never built nothing. We never built nothing. I used to say, like, okay, we're going to build. Okay. Used to have the thing and they'll show you how much you so far. And, in the next month, you'll see it raise up. I'm like, but what did we ever build? And where did that money go? But I think we as believers need to put our money where our mouth is. If we can't help, there's a community. Find out, is there a recovery program somewhere? Can we send people somewhere? Can we help people? And I try to think past just people's soul, because a lot of times before you can really get people saved or you can get people saved, but before you can lead people to Christ, we need to address the other issues that people deal with. There are so many issues that people deal with. And so maybe one of the church at a pastor anniversary, some of that money received from it can be given to help the less fortunate. Because I went to a church that a pastor anniversary, the pastor birthday, the church this. I have no problem with that, but I'm like, okay, well, can we have one service where we raise money to help somebody who's struggling? You know, you got a family or whatever the church may be, and there are churches who do that. And I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying what when I was in church, if I was thinking like I got a birthday too. Why, you know, and I really used to feel some kind of way. I got tired of giving to the pastor's birthday and I stopped. I think if I give you to the pastor anniversary, let's lump it all together. You know, that just was my only pet peeve. But let me just leave a couple of scriptures with you. And I just wanted to really throw this out for food of thought. It's not like it was so deep, but I mean, these are things that I think sometimes we don't think about. You know, we're looking at church as a whole. We're looking at church to fulfill our needs. Of course, we're looking for certain things, but then there are other things that we don't talk about that's hidden that we need to address. Deuteronomy 15:11 says this: there will always be poor people in the land. Therefore, I command you to be open-handed towards your fellow Israelites who are poor and needy in your land. So there are people who are poor in their spirits. They're struggling mentally. They're struggling physically. So we got to understand that. Exodus 17:12 says this: when Moses' hand grew tired, they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat on it. Aaron and Hur held his hand up, one on one side and one on the other, so that his hand remained steady till sunset. So we have a responsibility as leaders, as believers, even at the movement or whatever else organization you're affiliated with, to help people. And there are those who do. I'm not saying it. I'm just throwing it out there, say, hey, maybe that's something that we need to address. Not just people who are addiction, but some other things that we see that we maybe can help. And finally, I want to end with this quote that I found that I thought was really good, by Leonard Peltier. It said, I don't know how to save the world. I don't have the answers. He said, I don't have the answers are the answers. I hold no secret knowledge as how to fix the mistakes of generation past and present. He said, I only know that without compassion and respect for all earth inhabitants, none of us will survive, nor will we deserve to. And so when I read that, it really touched me. He said, I don't have the answers. You know, and I want to say that I don't have the answers either. We don't have all the answers, but I know someone who does. And so now that we have to recognize that there is a need, then we got to ask God for the answer, because we don't have it. But you know what? Once you know there's a problem, then you have to figure out, how can I help resolve this problem? Or how can I help to get that person to where they need to be in order to get the help that they need? And I say that only because when I dealt with my own personal struggles, I really needed help. But there was no one that I felt comfortable enough to go to. I'm not saying maybe it was, but I never felt like it was. Even when I was in church, I never felt comfortable that I was going to go tell somebody, because I didn't want nobody, pray about it. Well, I already prayed. Now what? You know, I already fast. Turn your plate down. All right. All that did was make me more hungry. You know what I'm saying? So there are some things that we need past the regular church logo. You know, God is good. You know, pray about it. Won't he do it? He all right. You know, no, I point me to somebody who can help me. And so that's all I have with that tonight, Anita.
Wow. And you know what, Annette, that's a subject matter that I think we have shied away from lately. We have shied away from it, and that's why, you know, when you say hush hush, you know, the hush hush of addiction, that, you know, we stopped really dealing with it and talking about it from a practical position, because we viewed, I think in our era, I'll put it this way, in our era, I mean, crack was very different. It was much worse than it is now. Now it's just that the door is open for so many other things. You know, there's, you know, there are far more varieties with crystal meth and all of the other things. And God knows I was not around during the heroin movement or not, alert I was a kid, a baby, not in this area, like how it hit New York. So I could never ever relate to what that had to have been like, because when I hear it was much worse than the crack phase in our days. But there comes a point in time that we are going to have to start really having the conversation with people, because there are more people addicted than we think.
Yeah.
There are more people who are struggling than we think. It's just that they become so high functional in their mindset. And eventually, when you fooled yourself long enough to think that you are hiding from everybody, is when it just completely loses control, and it comes out of that closet. And then, you've let down all your guards. Because from what I hear from people who have the crack addiction is that they dream about it. They dream about that high, and they're constantly searching for it again. And every time they get high, they don't feel that anymore. And they're like, oh, if I just get a little more, or if I just do it a little longer, or if I just get a little stronger, well, let me get a little more money and a little more money. And then before you know it, you're stealing and everything else that it takes. But then, but we have to learn to move by the Spirit and really be sensitive. I think it was Ebony, and she had posted something earlier when you were speaking, and she said a lot of people won't want help. But a lot of times people who claim to move in the Spirit are moving in flesh.
Yeah.
Because we want to try, we want to beat them upside the head with the Bible and come out. And we're talking from a perspective of not even understanding what they're experiencing. And not to say that it has to be somebody who has been on it, but then you have to have the elements and the information for people who understand it, because they get it. And if you haven't, you can't operate like You got to operate and be there and get them the help they need, not necessarily trying to pretend that, well, if you just pray. No, it's not that simple. It's not that simple. Not that simple. So thank you for that. We appreciate you for the hard to have conversation tonight. It is hard to have these conversations sometimes, but we have them because it's needed. So we had our transformational topic. We've had our power tool. We've dug down deep. Now it's time for us to go in. But before we do, before we go in, we're going to pause for just a moment for our commercial break. You have time still to share this broadcast and let somebody know. Come on in. It's just getting started, just getting good, because we're coming back with those topics. Y'all know what they are. But before we do, we're going to pause for our commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Walk into your God-given destiny with power and conviction with Power Walk Sunday. Each and every Sunday at 10 a.m. live on multiple platforms.
Making sure that toxic relationship we came out of don't make us bitter, but make us better. Yes. And so you're looking for somebody good out there, but you're not good yourself.
Absolutely.
So the thing about it is working within yourself. When you go into the relationship as your best and they go into the relationship as their best, then you have a great relationship.
Absolutely. Welcome to another amazing episode of the TMC podcast,
as we continue to help you take your relationship
from surviving to thriving.
TNT, that's Tuesday Night Talk with Annette L. Anderson, every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live on multiple platforms. Go where you can soar. That's Speak It, Orated, Articulated, and Reverberated. When we eat well, we live well, and all will be well. Go to elbewell.com, join the journey, and take your life back. If you don't have your copy, get yours today at Amazon.com. That's Living Life One Quote at a Time by Annette L. Anderson. Helping us grow spiritually together. Tired of the fluff and puff of playing church? Ready to be a powerful vessel? Ready to work the word? Join Connie Green every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live. And we're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. live with Can We Talk? Your co-hosts, Annette L. Anderson and Anita Faye Wilson, with Tea Time Topics, where we discuss trending subjects and current events. You can also discuss these with your Can We Talk coffee mug. Email us at info@movementworldwide.org. They're $15, and that includes shipping. Make a donation via Cash App at $Movement Worldwide, or go to our website, click the patron button and sow a seed of $12 per month. That's 40 cents a day. Whatever the seed, it's greatly appreciated. Be sure to follow us on all platforms. Click the notification button, subscribe, like, and don't forget to share. It's that time. Tea Time Topics. Yes, it's Tea Time Topics, y'all. Tea Time Topics. I love Tea Time Topics. I love Tea Time Topics. It's my favorite. As Maury, my niece Maury, who's visiting, she always says, my favorite. Everything is her favorite. I think everything is her favorite. We're going into our Tea Time Topics, and we're going to start them right here. Boom. You know, when I saw this, I was like, you look like Colonel Sanders a little bit. Nooses, KKK literature slave auction, Tennessee. Teen faced months of racist bullying. Mom had enough and files a $2.5 million lawsuit. $2.5 million lawsuit. That's what I'm talking about. The parents of a black teen at a majority white school in Tennessee are fighting back after being bullied and harassed for months by filing a federal lawsuit against the school officials. The racial demographics of the town are reflected in its middle school, which had only 5 black students out of 400 total this past school year. The 14-year-old, who is not named in the lawsuit, has a white mother and a black father, was victimized and faced racist bullying for months by white students, the lawsuit alleges. Stalked by this young man, I guess is the best way to put it. Shoved information in front of him depicting African Americans with nooses and KKK literature. Larry Crane, that's who that is, attorney representing the family of a black 14-year-old boy who attended Churchill Middle, Crane says of the allegations listed in the claim. The federal lawsuit filed against the school district on May 24th and seeks $2.5 million in damages, lists several incidents of alleged harassment dating back to September 2021. One instance was of a white student allegedly said to the black 14-year-old, "Fight me, you expletive, monkey." The black student was also allegedly called racial epithets and harassed by a drawing depicting a KKK member holding a torch and a noose standing over what is described as Monkey Island. Crane says the black teen was also a victim of a slave auction, and he was nominated as Monkey of the Month by white students at the school. The lawsuit also says the 14-year-old was chased out of the boys' bathroom with a stuffed monkey, and the incident was recorded on a cell phone video and uploaded to social media with the caption, "Monkey chasing a monkey." There was no effort made to intervene at the school level to make sure the perpetrators of these attacks were dealt with appropriately, Crane said of the school's response to the alleged incidents. Crane says in some cases, school officials blamed the 14-year-old for being victimized, discouraged him from coming forward, although bullying continued. That is crazy. Hawkins County School understands a parent has filed a suit against the system. Crane says since the Qualls lawsuit was filed on May 24th, more families are now coming forward claiming their children have experienced racial harassment. And while Erica Qualls did not join Crane for an interview on the case, Crane says she wants accountability for what happened to her son. If anything, it seems to us there was no action taken to discipline those that were responsible for these racial attacks, Crane said. Crane says since the Qualls lawsuit was filed, more families that are coming forward. That's the part right there. More families are coming forward, saying that they experienced the same thing. And my thing is, why y'all didn't come forward before? Why y'all coming forward in the aftermath? I appreciate y'all for coming forward, but more people need to speak out. Now, I want to talk about this and that. This is what I want to. What stuck out to me out of all that I just read was that I have an issue with having my child at a school where there's only 4 or 5 black students.
Yeah.
I would do something about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, move.
Yep, I agree.
You need diversity. Okay, your thoughts.
Oh yeah. Well, I just thought the lawyer. I thought myself. I said I just took one look at him. I said, "Oh yeah, he finna get plenty money. Look, he looked like he gonna.
Uh-huh.
He looked like he the bomb nigga.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like him, but
Mhm.
yeah, um, I'm just appalled at the school.
Yeah.
You know, if nothing else, it should some. I don't know if they contacted the parents and tried to. I don't. It didn't go into details to see what the school done to
Hmm.
alleviate this problem.
Nothing.
So it's based on what we read, but of course, we're
Hmm.
not always privy to all the information. But the school kind of may have dropped the ball a little bit.
I know may have. You obviously did. All right, then we're gonna go to our next point. Thank you for this one, and fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
This is so. This is a funny story to me. A South African pastor has been convicted of plotting to overthrow the government. Sounds sort of familiar.
Sounds familiar.
In addition to his plan to invoke a national insurrection, the clergyman devised a scheme of genocide, hoping to kill thousands of black people.
Wow.
The official charge for the 64-year-old pastor was contravention of the Protection of Constitutional Democracy Against Terrorism and Related Matter Act. The prosecutor said one of the acts, this right-wing organization, also called the Crusaders, explored implementing to take over the country with a biological weapon to infect and kill black people. Wow. Officials successfully argued that I guess it's Nosen group planned to poison the water reservoirs that were accessed by and supplied to black communities. The court also found that the preacher who represented himself guilty of unlawful possession of firearms after weapons and ammunition were found in his place in Middleburg, a small town in eastern. Oh man, this is a word. I'm gonna spell the word, y'all. Okay, Mpumalanga province. So okay, you see why I didn't say it. Where he was staying when officers arrested him. News 24 stated that he was one of 5 other individuals suspected of planning a national insurrection. The alleged motivation was to replace the secular government with members of the Christian air quote organization. To make their impact, they plan implementation. Wait a minute, I didn't pronounce that right. Anyway, targeting national keys points, malls. They may do some damage, Anita, and informal settlements on November 28, 2019. They also alleged that his mission was motivated by his highly racial views, oh, you think, and a desire to reclaim South Africa for white people. He even admitted to sharing recipes on Facebook to further his end. He planned to attack government institutions, police, and military institutions, a spokesman said. And he did that because he felt like they would get in the way of him trying to kill off the black folks. So
Wow.
this is he said it was a pastor, but so there were other people involved. And last time I read, he had not been sentenced yet, but he has been found guilty.
Wow. That's a lot. And you
Yeah.
know what? And it goes to show you that's that spirit, that's that Hitler spirit.
Yep.
It is raising its ugly head all over the world.
Hmm.
In South Africa, wanting to reclaim something. Okay, black people are from Africa, so you want to reclaim South Africa back to white hands when it was actually originally in black hands in the
Yeah.
first place.
Yeah. That ideology
It's
is
because of the commodities. It's the commodities in Africa that keeps, people going there and settling and stealing, which is what they're doing. They're stealing diamonds and they're stealing gold.
Mhm.
Crazy, 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 crazy. Well, hey, you got a whole lot of time to think about what you did, son, when your
Mhm.
sentence comes. So there it is. All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Oh, I forgot. I have this. Wait a minute. I have 2 sounds that I'm behind on my sounds. I'm behind on my sounds for the school and the foolishness y'all did to the little fella. And wait a minute, while I'm here, let me hit the pastor in South Africa. Had to hit you, had to hit the school, but you know what? For I'm okay, and that I want to call him. I want to call him Colonel Sanders Colonel Sanders 2.0. Well, Colonel Sanders 2.0 sit up there with his arms on that book, that attorney. Oh yeah, we got you. We
Yeah.
got you. Thumbs up. But I'm sure, for all of you fools who are in the congregation with the pastor who is trying to overthrow the government and call himself reclaiming something that they belong to him in the first place, for all of y'all that's sitting up in there like this here, y'all sitting up here getting your little praise on. We got one for y'all too. Y'all get the same thing. So now I'm caught up on my sounds.
Yeah. We got the same thing in our country. They still saying, why are they saying that was an insurrection? That's not an insurrection.
What I'm saying.
First of all, you don't tell me what to say. Insurrection. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, next. Just because you say it don't make it. I mean, you can't change the narrative. I don't know why we think we can change yesterday. No, you can't. No, you can't go back and change yesterday. If it was, I would go back and change some stuff. No, you can't. You don't have that. So
you don't have that. Come on, fellas, because you're ready to talk about insurrection. You ain't tell me what to say. No. Fellas!
Moving. We keep it moving.
All righty, here we go. LeBron James is adding to his already incredible legacy with his latest adventure, opening the I Promise Health Quarters, a multi-million-dollar medical facility in his hometown of Akron, Ohio, in 2023. According to a tweet from the LeBron James Family Foundation, the I Promise Health Quarters will offer medical and dental services, optometry, mental health, and pharmaceutical and lab services. When our family expressed the need for more healthcare services, we went to work. LJFF, that's the acronym for his organization, posted on Instagram. Today, we've come together with 3 organizations, Access Point, Coleman Services, and PEG Foundation, to create the I Promise headquarters to offer a variety of services all under one roof. James has kept his promise to give back as his star has risen exponentially and over the years, and from a breakout high school basketball player at St. Vincent, St. Mary High School in Akron, he is creating a veritable one-stop for his community, becoming the change we all seek in underserved environments. As we continue to listen and respond to what our families need, our work continues to expand in ways we have never dreamed of, Executive Director of LJFF Michelle Campbell said to Complex. Access to affordable health care has always been a critical need for our families, and further heightened by the pandemic. So we began rallying our communities to bring the experts together under the one trusted roof. Being able to provide this important service for the entire community is only possible because we have incredible partners that share our We Are Family philosophy. James is making history daily as Forbes announced him as the first ever actively playing NBA billionaire a few days ago. Come on. The valuation was based on his numerous investments in media, restaurants, and more. His basketball ability has been the catalyst for many opportunities that have seen his close friends all become successful with him. He better get to building status while he is still playing. That is what I'm talking about, and we salute you, LeBron James. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Woo, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, he very outspoken. He got a bad rap one time with certain groups of people, but that has nothing to do with who he is. And
Right.
All the flipping jaws. Come on, show me what y'all doing. So I mean, we have a lot of billionaires in this country, and I'm sure there are a lot of people doing since we've been doing it. We've been finding out about a lot of people that you don't think is doing stuff. So, hey, I applaud him. I think he's absolutely phenomenal.
Amen.
You're talking that's what you're talking about when you give back.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. All right. My thoughts, my sentiments exactly. All right. Hats off, LeBron. We love you, brother.
Mhm.
Come on, fellas. Take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Okay, this is a really good story here. Mother and daughter team is believed to have made history after graduating from the law school in the same year from one of Alabama's top institutions. All right, y'all better do it. The school claims this is the first time a mother-daughter duo has received a Juris Doctorate at the same time in the school's 170-year history. On Sunday, May 15th, Daphne Davis and her daughter Adrena were among 80 plus members of the 2022 graduating class from Birmingham School of Law at Bill Harris Arena. Now the two are preparing to take the Alabama bar exam, hoping to practice law together at the law office of Bobby L. Davis, Adrena's fiance, according to AL.com. Mom and daughter walked across the stage moments from each other. In an interview with WVTM, Daphne recalled the moment, saying it was a proud moment, one of the proudest moments of my life, for me to turn around and stand on the steps and watch my daughter receive her Juris Doctorate. It was everything to me, she expressed. Graduating together was not always the plan. Daphne had decided to go to law school after going through her divorce. She had helped her lawyer in research and preparing for proceedings in 2009. An attorney told her she was thorough in her support and suggested she consider law school. Daphne said she was uncomfortable with some. She, of course, she eventually went to school. It took her a minute, but she did. She also said she was uncomfortable with some of her professors, intimidated by the schoolwork, and questioned what her many young fellow classmates thought about her. But eventually, she learned the flow. Now saying, law school became my legal family, full of different points of view and learning styles. Now that the two have graduated, they plan to, I already said, they plan to work with uh, Adrena's fiance. They're going to, hopefully, Adrena will join as a partner and mom will serve as a mediator for the firm. She had planned to work with my daughter and her husband to be in their firm, Daphne boasted. I will also perform duties as a mediator and arbitrator as an advocate to dispute resolution. I plan to send my pro bono hours given back in the field of domestic relationship because divorce was a catalyst for my Jewish doctor. Doctor.
All right. All
Yes,
right.
that was such a good story. Oh
That is
my
a
God.
beautiful story. I love when I see stuff like that. And just to show you, the mom just, poured into her child, got her child to that point, and then she joined her. And it's like, you
Yeah,
know what? Hey, why not? And it's never too late. And for them to be able to accomplish that together, moments from each other, that speaks volumes. And we are awesome, awesome, beautiful story. I love that, Annette.
me too.
I love that. Beautiful, beautiful story. Yes, agreed, Juanita. Beautiful story, mom and daughter. All right, fellas, take us to the next one. Take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
This was a great story. When I saw this, they just wanted to record dramatic video capture Chicago man risking his life to save commuter from excuse me, electrocution, then get surprise of his life from a local entrepreneur. This was a beautiful story. He's being heralded, that kid on the side is being heralded as a hero after saving a man from being electrocuted after he fell into subway tracks and landing on the third rail. The real life Superman who secured the victim and risked being harmed himself administered CPR in an effort to resuscitate him after the horrific accident. On Wednesday, June 8th, Anthony Perry was celebrated by community leaders for his heroism at the 69th Street Reed Line CTA station in the Greater Grand Crossing neighborhood on Sunday, June 5th, around 3:30. Chicago philanthropist and entrepreneur Early Walker, founder of I'm Telling Don't Shoot organization, surprised the young man with a car for risking his life for someone else. Walker presented the hero with a gas card at the ceremony. The Harold L. Richards High School graduate was clueless why he would need a gas card. At the time, he did not have a vehicle to drive. The philanthropist then surprised Perry with the new car. Perry, who previously spent 90 minutes after taking 2 buses and a train to work every day, now could drive in a style with a 2008 Audi 6. The young man also couldn't believe what happened on one of his last hour and a half commutes to work. According to authorities, there was a fight between a 32-year-old victim and another man that went horribly wrong that sparked Perry's heroism. Immediately, the hero shared, I was thinking about if that was me in that situation, how would I want people to treat me? I'm just happy that the guy was alive. More than anything, I didn't see myself as a hero, to be honest. And I don't know if you saw the video, Annette, but he literally was down on those tracks and he was getting shocked by the electrical tracks
Wow.
himself, but he was working feverishly to save this man's life. He did. He saved his life. Isn't that something?
That's something. Oh, I
And I
just
watched
love
the
it.
video. I watched the when the guy gave him the car. I thought it was a beautiful, beautiful gesture. So there are some great people in the world. Some great people who actually think about others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So we give him an applause. We applaud him and we applaud him for getting his new ride and his gas card. Gas is high, y'all. Gas is high. He got a gas card.
It's coming down a little bit.
Huh?
It's coming down a little tab. No, no,
It's
no, no.
coming. Well, no, it ain't coming down
No.
enough for me. I mean, golly. I guess when you don't drive a lot, you don't realize until you go to the pump. It's like, what? All
Yeah.
right, fellas, come on, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Okay, this is another story I love. Uh, I love my president. Just want him to stay off bicycles. So I just had to throw that in. But the Biden administration launches new pay internships to increase White House diversity, which is phenomenal. Well, last week, President Joe Biden and Vice President Harris announced that applications were opening for the first rounds of White House interns. More importantly, for the first time in history, White House internships will be paid positions. Oh. This change is intended to open up the opportunity to a wider range of applicants who otherwise might not be able to afford to take the prestigious position, making the White House reflect the diversity of America. Too often, unpaid federal internships have been a barrier to hardworking and talented students and professionals. Biden and Harris said in an official statement, preventing them from contributing their talents and skills to the country and holding them back from federal career advancement opportunities. By making the White House internships paid positions, the administration intends to help remove barriers to equal opportunity for low-income students and first-generation professionals at the beginning of their careers. In addition to giving promising applicants a huge opportunity to start their careers, the administration revamp of the internship program will help make the White House reflect the diversity of America. The problem of unpaid internship has not been limited to the White House. According to data gathered by the Center for Research on College Workforce Transition, housed at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, anywhere between 31% and 58% of all summer internships in the United States are unpaid, with more than 3 million summer internship positions operating in the United States each year. The unpaid nature of so many of these jobs creates a huge barrier to enter for low-income and unrepresented people in business, politics, and more. In response to this situation, organizations such as Pay Our Interns, which launched in 2017, arose to reform the internship system in the country. The group targeted the 10,000 unpaid internships operated each year by Congress. In 2019, congressional internships became paid for the first time, and now the White House paying its interns represents another victory for the movement.
Wow.
So it's so good because I remember right after the former president was elected and put in office, they showed the internships for that particular. It was actually not one black face, and it was a lot of them. So this is maybe this will give other people opportunities, if they so choose. But anyway,
Yeah, and you know what? I get so frustrated when I hear people talk about, oh, he did so much for the black community. He
no,
did
he
so
did.
much for the black community. And they talk about, oh, but he puts X amount of dollars in this program and that program. Yeah, but look at what he took. If you really took time to add up the stuff that he took from the black community, then you'd realize that that
Mhm.
Scooby snack he gave was the cushion. And then, when you look at his office, his cabinet is reflective of what, it's reflective of just that. And so, and I'm happy to see something like this happen, and somebody's
Me
thinking
too.
about the least, the lost, and the left out, and the underdog. I'm glad that
Mhm.
somebody is thinking about them. So thank you so much, Joe. I want you to stay off bikes, but thank you so much for the work that you're doing.
Yeah, he just.
Going off about Joe and the bikes. All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
All righty, all righty, all righty. Such a beautiful girl, such a beautiful girl. Let me get to my page here. All righty. This beautiful lady, Jennifer Hudson, arrives at the 75th Annual Tony Awards on Sunday, June 12, 2022, at Radio City Music Hall in New York. Jennifer Hudson on Sunday night achieved a rarefied status of EGOT with her Tony win for producing A Strange Loop. The awards term EGOT, refers to people who have won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony over the course of their careers in entertainment. Notable figures who have netted these wins across all four bodies include Rita Moreno, Alan Menken, Andrew Lloyd Webber, John Legend, Mike Nichols, Mel Brooks, and Whoopi Goldberg. Only 16 individuals in history had achieved the award. Terms EGOT or EGOT refers to people who have won the Emmy, all of those things. And so when we look at her Oscar, her Oscar win for the Best Supporting Actress in Performance 2006 Dreamgirls. Since then, Hudson has netted 2 performing Grammys, one for Best Musical Theater Album for The Color Purple in 2017, and the other for Best R&B Album and for Self-Entitled Album in 2009, as well as a Daytime Emmy for executive producing the VR animated film Baby Yaga. The award terms ego refers to people. Oh, that we already said that. Okay. All righty. So Hudson is the seventh. Let me see what it says. Only 16 individuals in history have received it, and she is the 17th. She is the 17th person in the history of the world to receive this award. So we do applaud her. That's a great achievement. I remember when she first got the Oscar and the Grammy, there was a lot of flack about that because she had not released a record and she got a Grammy for singing. I'm like, y'all stop hating. That's all. Everybody and their mama was singing. I know Jennifer Hudson did it. Jennifer Holiday did it first, but she's the legend. I'm giving her props. Can't nobody do it like Jennifer. But we cannot take away from what Jennifer Hudson did. Give the girl her props and call it a day. We do applaud you, darling. We applaud you for that. There's been a lot of tragedy and loss in her life, but
Yes.
there's also been a lot of gain that we can see in her work, through her work and achievements. So we do applaud you. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I just think it's just phenomenal. Because I was thinking even before Aretha Franklin died, she told them, "I want her to play me." So, that speaks volumes. Even a legend like Aretha could see the value in her. And if you got it, just got it. You're going to always have haters who disagree. In fact, you got haters so big, so bad that they go get a big old glass of ice and pour hater aid on it. But what they got to do with when God is known for you. You just drink and move on because she's still moving.
Exactly. Stop hating. Give the girl her props.
Yeah, you don't like,
and don't get mad because somebody else got some accolades or got something, and let her have it. Let her have her moment. She's worked hard for it, so let her have it. So I'm happy for her. Very happy for her because there's been a lot of loss in her life, but I'm glad to see her get some gain. So we salute you, Jennifer. We got you, baby. All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
All righty. Here's one of our throwback stories that we like to share with you guys. In the year 1856, landmark case Mason versus Smith, Bridget Biddy Mason sued her master for her family's freedom. A full year before the infamous Dred Scott versus Sanford decision. In the Dred Scott case, the court ruled that enslaved persons did not become free when brought to the free states. Before that ruling, Bridget Mason's owner, Robert Smith, transported his slaves to Salt Lake City and then on to San Bernardino, California, to establish a new Mormon community there. At the time, California was a free state, and the free black friends of Bridget encouraged her to legally contest her slave status. In December 1855, afraid that his slave would be taken from him, Smith decided to move, transporting his slave to Texas, a slave state, in order to protect his ownership. However, before he could transport them from California, friends of Bridget alerted the Los Angeles chef to her master's intentions, and the chef intercepted Smith's wagon train, and he was carrying a right habeas corpus in hand. And then it was an order it was the right, much like a order of the court, required Bridget, her sister Hannah, who they said possibly was not a blood relation of Bridget, because back in the day they separated families, and their children to be represented children to be presented to Los Angeles District Judge Benjamin Hayes, wherein he would consider the enslaved status. Hannah, who had recently given birth, was not present at the proceeding, and astonishingly, Bridget herself had to remain silent during the court proceeding because the California law prevented blacks and Native Americans from giving testimony against whites, regardless of what they did to them. Isn't that something? The judge freed them, and Bridget eventually moved to Los Angeles, where she worked as a midwife and nurse before purchasing land I think it's a typo. And she worked as a midwife and nurse before purchasing land in 1872. She established First African American Episcopal AME Church, the oldest black church in the city. So that's her story.
Wow.
He tried to move in another state so he could keep his slaves.
Isn't that something?
But somebody interceded for them. Yep.
Stop trying to dig a hole and put a good grace for everybody else.
Yep.
I don't know. It's that mentality. You just had to keep people enslaved just because you could. You treated them like dirt because you could. You whipped them because you could. You treated them like dogs because you could, not because you needed to, but just because you could. That's. Ooh, I wonder what the payment is like for some of those people that have gone on. Oh my goodness! I wonder what the payment is like. Lord, you knew. You know, and you've been handling it, and we just really leave it in your hands. All righty, well, that's a story, and for the craziness, the idiotic craziness of trying to get her. I don't even think I did. For trying to keep her enslaved. But darling, it looked up for you. It looked up for you. It looked up for you. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. So that's what I'm talking about. So we celebrate that legacy. All right, now fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
All righty now. She better wear her shirt. Elizabeth Abenow, founder and CEO of 40 Acres Fresh 9 Market, a Black-owned startup grocer that offers fresh and healthy food options on Chicago's West Side, has been awarded $2.5 million in grant funding from the city. She plans to use the funds to transition her pop-up store to a brick-and-mortar store. Elizabeth founded the grocer in 2018 with the aim of to improve food access in the community, which had been a food desert. She has since been running pop-ups, farmers markets, a storefront that operates on weekends on a grocery delivery service. But she has always dreamed of opening a brick and mortar store. Her dream came true as the city of Chicago backs the development of 40 Acres Fresh Market with a $2.5 million grant. Yes, and this is funded under the Chicago Recovery Plan. The grant is set to fund part of the grocery store's construction costs, including plumbing, mechanical, and electrical work for equipment such as refrigerators and freezers. The store is expected to bring fresh and healthy food choices closer to the people in the neighborhood. Avenue wanted that it will also benefit other nearby businesses and build cohesion in a community as part of its social infrastructure. The increase foot traffic and local dollars being circulated within the Austin community can slowly start to shift the perception that there's nothing on Chicago Avenue, she said. We want people to start associating good shopping experiences with Austin, Elizabeth said. It's not just buying food. It's the people, it's the customer service, it's the frozen food aisle, and discovering new things that you didn't even know you needed. That's what I'm talking about. And we 100% wholeheartedly support that.
Yes.
That
Yes.
is amazing. And we are so excited for her and that she's able to move her business to brick and mortar and to have an actual standing grocery store. Good
Yes.
job. Good job. All
I,
because of her heart wanting to serve the community. Your thoughts on that?
yeah, I love her. I like her, the title of her grocery store. Yeah. So yeah, it's good to see that we're moving. Like we say, even here, moving. We see people moving. So that's
Exactly.
awesome. Yes.
Exactly. All righty. Okay, fellas, take us on to the next one. Take us on actually to the last one.
Moving. We keep it moving.
Okay. I think she is absolutely
She is
beautiful.
beautiful. She is beautiful.
Man, children from every background and community deserves a chance to experience the joy of classical music, said the musician. From the streets of New York City to Coachella stage alongside Beyonce violinist Elzima has
Mhm.
used, I probably destroy her name. She's too pretty for me to mess up her name. Has used her artistry to change the narrative around representation within classical music. The Nebraska native is introducing youth from the underrepresented groups to the art form through the creation of her foundation, Strings by Heart. The classical music genre has historically been white male dominated. Research shows less than 2% of the instrumentalists in American orchestras are black. For this wonderful young lady, a class,
Azima. It's Azima.
Elzina,
Azima.
Elzina,
Azima.
okay, the girl, I just wasn't gonna say it no more because I just messed it up. Okay, Elzina, a classical trained musician who has collaborated with Stevie Wonder, Kendrick Lamar, and
Scissor.
I ain't never heard of him. Is it a him or
It's a
she or a
girl.
group?
It's a female. Scissor.
Girl, I'm gonna say SZA. Okay.
Ah.
Her journey in its
Okay.
industry is deeper than music. With every performance, video, and chord, the artist whose works sit at the intersection of classical and hip hop strives to inspire individuals who don't often see themselves reflected in a space to challenge the status quo and follow their dreams. She recently launched Strings by Heart, an organization designed to make music education accessible to youth in underserved communities. Through the nonprofit, youngsters will have the opportunity to participate in music lessons led by accomplished educators, attend cultural events that will broaden their perspective, uh, and have access to quality instruments and supplies. The program was created to use music as a vessel to teach youth lessons they can apply in other areas of their life. Izima says her own coming of age experience inspired her to create the foundation. She said, I remember the isolation I felt as the only Black person in the orchestra, at times discouraged by my teachers from pursuing my dreams, she shared in a statement according to a news outlet. Yet the statistics are clear that music education plays a vital role in helping children and young adults get on a path to achieve their goals, improve self-esteem, and more. Children from every background and community deserves the chance to experience the joy of classical music and feel that they belong in that world. And that's Izima, who is absolutely amazing.
She's beautiful and she's incredible.
You see what Yolanda said?
Yes. That's why I say, Yolanda, you're laughing at your mother.
No, they're not laughing at me. Hey, they know if I don't know the word, I'm going to spell it. I'm going to say, Nita, what is that?
She's like, yes, ma'am. He's like, I was about to say SZA. I was like,
yeah, I know who is. I never.
It's a female singer.
First of all, Anita's in that arena.
But Annette, you don't even finish movies, so you have no clue what's going on.
I don't. Every night that I finish a movie. Do you know I've never seen Color Purple all the way through?
I know that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so,
Yolanda's backing me up. Talking about exactly.
Hey, watch yourself, Yolanda. So anybody who knows me know, I finished a movie the other day and let them tell me, you finished the movie? I said, yep. Well, I missed some of it because I was doing something, but I've seen most of it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But into who she is beautiful, talented, and I like it because some people may not even think they can, maybe not even have a thought that they want to do that. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden you get this opportunity. We need more stuff in our community, even in my community. Mm-hmm. Some kids may be gifted in those areas. Mm-hmm. So hey, I like it. Even I don't know who she was, but that's okay.
All righty then. Well, we have come to the conclusion of our incredible show tonight. We have had a great show, and we've come to our last tea time topic. So, but before we leave, we want to ask that you would please do us a great favor, and please subscribe, like, and share. And we ask that you would please make sure you do that because it will still be up after it's all over. The other thing is you can sow a seed via Cash App at $ Movement Worldwide, or become a patron by going to our website, movementworldwide.org. Set up your account, set your amount. We ask for $12 a month. That's 40 cents a day. But whatever the amount is greatly appreciated. And as I often say, please follow us at Globe Above Annette on all platforms. Please follow us at Movement Worldwide. And you can also email us at info@movementworldwide.org. All righty. So now, without further ado, I'm going to go through our lineup. All the stuff that we have going on all week long. We start out on Tuesday nights with Annette L gracing us with her presence, with her incredible organization entitled SOAR. And she graces us on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. with TNT. That's Tuesday Night Talk, where we take flight and soar. That's speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate.
Oh,
the prep. That's speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live on Facebook and YouTube. Then on Wednesdays, meet us right back here, Facebook and YouTube, on this platform for a conversation on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. We have our transformational topic, those things that make you go, And then we have that hard to have conversation that everybody wants to sweep under the rug, nobody wants to talk about. That conversation like tonight, that is our power tool. And then we have our awesome tea time topics. We go from the news, we take the good, the bad, and the ugly. We keep it light, but we keep it real. And so that's on Wednesday nights at 8. And then Wednesday nights at 7. Then on Friday nights, if you have not joined us on Clubhouse, you really need to, because it's getting more and more interesting by the day. Every week, I never know. It's like, oh my God, just when I think it might kind of die down, it just picks up. And
that's right.
It's amazing. Friday nights, 8 p.m. Join us in the Movers and Shakers room on Clubhouse. And we have that conversation. But if you don't know how to get there, don't know how to find us. I'm on Clubhouse, but I don't see y'all. I don't know where to find you. Well, all you have to do is this. Well, text the word movers to 954-820-5050. What? 954-820-5050. What? 954-820-5050. What? 954-820-5050. 954-820-5050. Text the word movers. Hi, Francesca.
Yeah, I was saying like,
Hey, we love ourselves some Francesca. So text the word movers to 954-820-5050, and now you'll get a link right in. And then on Sundays, meet us right back here on this platform, Facebook and YouTube Live at 10 a.m. for Power Walk Sunday, where we inspire and motivate you to walk into your God-given destiny with power and conviction. Where there is always, say always, Annette.
Always.
Where there is always a word for you. Your last words, Annette?
I just want to thank everybody for sharing with us. Listen, I just love it. I love I can be me, whatever that is. So I just love it. So I thank y'all so much for sharing with us. It would be no us without you guys.
Amen.
So our prayers that come back again. She's giving you the rundown of what's going on. And next time, bring somebody with you. We would appreciate it. Thank you so much. And we do love you guys.
Yes. Thank you so much. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. You didn't have to do it, but you came here and you parked it with us. So we appreciate you so much. We'll see you the next time that we are the next time we in town with our great show. We'll see y'all. Next time we in town on these YouTube and Facebook streets. But and come back and join us. We love you. We're going to send y'all some love. We got the hearts going out.
Hearts.
Y'all have a good one. Be blessed. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Walk into your God-given destiny with power and conviction with Power Walk Sunday. Each and every Sunday at 10 a.m. live on multiple platforms.
Making sure that toxic relationship we came out of don't make us bitter, but make us better. Yes. And so you're looking for somebody good out there, but you're not good yourself.
Absolutely.
So the thing about it is working within yourself. When you go into the relationship as your best and they go into the relationship as their best, then you have a great relationship.
Welcome to another amazing episode of the TMC podcast.
As we continue to help you take your relationship from surviving to thriving.
TNT, that's Tuesday Night Talk with Annette L. Anderson, every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live on multiple platforms. Go where you can soar. That's speak it, orated, articulated, and reverberated. When we eat well, we live well, and all will be well. Go to elbwell.com, join the journey, and take your life back. If you don't have your copy, get yours today at Amazon.com. That's Living Life One Quote at a Time by Annette L. Anderson. Helping us grow spiritually together. Tired of the fluff and puff of playing church? Ready to be a powerful vessel? Ready to work the word? Join Connie Green every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live. And we're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. live with Can We Talk? Your co-hosts, Annette L. Anderson and Anita Faye Wilson, with Tea Time Topics, where we discuss trending subjects and current events. You can also discuss these with your Can We Talk coffee mug. Email us at info@movementworldwide.org. They're $15, and that includes shipping. Make a donation via Cash App at $Movement Worldwide, or go to our website, click the Patron button, and sow a seed of $12 per month. That's 40 cents a day. Whatever the seed, it's greatly appreciated. Be sure to follow us on all platforms. Click the notification button, subscribe, like, and don't forget to share.